Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Guess I'll give it a shot. Few years back, working at an old-ass asylum. It's my best bud Matt, who is a security guard, and I work as an orderly. Sitting in the security station chilling, playing card games. There is this one inmate we call Houdini. Guy is a satanic worshiper after he got in a bad car accident. Went crazy, killed family, and has an annoying ability to get out of anything. Handcuffs, straitjackets. Anyway, we get a new guy and tell him about the prisoners and protocols, the usual. He works as some sort of talking doctor, so he talks to the patients. So Matt and I are sitting there, and strangely, Houdini's cell camera goes dark. Oh shit. Wait, where is the new guy? Forgot to tell the new guy about Houdini. Where the fuck is he? Matt calls in additional security and guys from maintenance. Then hear the loudest scream down the hallway. Then hear new guy screaming, "Help, help." Book it down to Houdini's cell door. Damn door is locked, hear screaming inside. Matt finally comes with a few other guys and a doctor. Unlock the door. New guy is on the floor, his wrists torn and badly drawn pentagrams on the wall. Houdini is holding new guy down on the floor, trying to draw a pentagram on his chest. Able to subdue Houdini and get new guy out. New guy never comes back. Not really scary, but what we found out was when new guy went to Houdini's cell, Houdini got out of his straitjacket, took a shit, flung it at the camera, closed the door, then tore new guy's wrist open with his teeth to try to get blood so he could summon whatever. Alright, it's a bit of a slow thread, so why not? First started working at the asylum. There was this huge woman with a southern accent who we called Big Momma. She had major hallucinations due to childhood trauma, but loved children. She would kidnap children and call them her own. If there was another woman around, she would get extremely protective of the kidnapped children. Big Momma killed a female meter maid because she got too close and was sent to be institutionalized. Anyway, then I was a real skinny little twig, so the security and the other orderlies used me to distract Big Momma. Would have me sit on her lap, and she would tell me about her childhood in the South. When the rest of the staff finished, we would bring Big Momma back to her cell. Everything was all right till we got a new female security member. Tell her to stay away from Big Momma because we didn't want anything to happen. The day to clean out Big Momma's cell arrives. I am sitting with Big Momma, and she tells me about voodoo and how she learned it from her mother. Tells me I have been a good child, and my kindness is from the good voodoo energy. Really didn't understand at the time. She takes my arm and pulls me to her. A minute later, the new female security guard crashes in taser ready. Oh shit. Start to scream at her to run. Big Momma lets go of me, stands up and has this giant unhuman scream. Too late. Big Momma charges and pins the new security guard at the wall, and she drops her taser. Big Momma starts screaming, "You will never take him away. You will never take him away." I couldn't see because I was scared shitless, and behind Big Momma against the wall, I could see new security guard trying to fight back. I start screaming security into my walkie-talkie. I then heard two loud cracks. The new security guard was now screaming and sobbing. Big Momma has large hands, so she then grabs the new security guard by the neck, throws her to the floor. Big Momma has one hand around the new female security officer's neck. The other is pounding on her face. Security finally comes in and is able to restrain and move away Big Momma. 6 orderlies had to hold her down and bring her away. Medics rush around the new female security officer. One helps me slowly get up. They are putting the new female security officer onto a stretcher, but I was able to take a look. Her bones in her arms were sticking out. Her face was bloody and bruised, and her nose was ripped off. The last thing I remember was puking on the floor in the hallway, then passing out. I could still hear Big Momma down the hall in a different part of the building screaming, "You will never take him away." I never saw Big Momma or the female security guard ever after that.
Be a disabled vet, taking a friend out shooting, carrying a Beretta, 96 FS in an OC holster because of a 2-mile hike in bear country. Both of us have 10/22s slung on our shoulders, get to the gravel pit, and walk around the different sections, deciding nobody is here. Fire 2 .22 rounds into the dirt and listen to make sure nobody is around. Hear a thumping noise that is so deep and strong the ground thumps beneath my feet, coming from trees on the south side of the pit, where we entered. Listen for a while, hear and feel it again. Do some controlled pair drills with the Beretta, since it's the loudest gun I have on me. Nothing.jpg. Target practice with 22s for 3 hours, sound coming and going. Getting dark, pack up and hike home, check the Beretta, loaded with 165 grain Corbon defense ammo. Hear the noise again on the walk, coming from the east side of us on the trail while we walk south. Get to camp, decide to stay the night and drink beer. TV loses every channel at the same time. Was using a boosted antenna for all 4 glorious channels. Friend gets the laptop from the truck. Hey man, something was watching me. An hour later, something big bumping around under the camp, moving rocks and banging metal pipes, can feel it bump the floor, 2-foot crawl space under there. Exit the camp with a flashlight and handgun. Nothing under the camp or around anywhere. Something was fucking stalking us.
This story isn't really that scary and I didn't really experience it, but I'll share anyway. Be me. Go into college on a Monday morning. This girl that I'm sort of friends with named Jade runs over to me, looks freaked out, grabs my shoulders really tight. The fuck, Jade? She's freaking out. Asks me if I called her at 2 in the morning on Sunday. I don't even have her number, check my call history, nothing there. She tells me that she was at a party, and I called her. She doesn't have my number either, but it came up like I was a contact on her phone. She answers but can't understand what I'm saying. Her and a few of our mutual friends go into a quiet room so she can hear me. I'm saying that there is a man outside of my window, and he's going to kill me. I'm talking really fast and crying apparently. She asks me what's going on. From that point, I keep saying, Jade, there's blood coming out of his mouth. Why is there blood coming out of his mouth? So much blood. So much blood, Jade, and it's not his. She's freaking out, so she puts me on loudspeaker to see if anyone else can understand what's going on, or get me to talk to her properly. One girl says I'm probably doing stuff in my sleep. I'm having a nightmare and sort of woke up enough to call Jade, but I'm still having the nightmare. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. They all get their phones out and record what I'm saying so they can show me on Monday. Jade is super creeped out, but they assure her it's nothing. Jade keeps trying to hang up, but it won't work. After a few minutes, I stop babbling and say, "He opened the window, Jade." The call ends. She goes into her contacts to call me back. She doesn't have my number. She whats? She looks in her call history, and it isn't there. They all what? Everyone else tries to replay the recordings of me. Static noises with sort of cackling behind it, hard to make out. I've heard these. They leave it. After being told this, I what? Later on, a friend calls her phone. They put it on loudspeaker, and another friend, whose phone messed up and played static, records it. Plays back fine. My feels when I woke up Sunday morning with my window open and was vaguely aware that I had had a nightmare through the night, but couldn't remember it. Again, I do not have Jade's phone number, and I have never called her from my phone. She doesn't have my phone number either, and she hasn't ever called me from her phone.
Be young. Parents don't like me lazing around inside, so they kick me outside often. My favorite place to go is this creek that runs behind a lot of houses. All fenced off, lots of trees and wildflowers, run straight outside of town. Literally never ever see anyone back there my entire childhood. City employees only sign posted at the front. I don't care, I'm 10. I like to wander back there and read books. One day I see how far I can wander. I always had to be back by sundown. Walk what seems like forever to a young child. Almost reach the edge of town when the sun starts getting low. Shit, parents will be mad if I don't get back in time. Start running as fast as my legs can carry me, enjoying looking at the trees. Sunset before I get about 3/4 of the way home after several breaks. Start running again, still looking at the trees. Almost dark. See something ahead in the trees on the other side of the creek. Tall, white, thin, and it looks like it has fur. All my what.jpg. Legs still running despite my confusion, its eyes are green. Almost like it's watching me looking at it. Nope, 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 nope. Go into a dead run out of fear. Pass it, but still feel it's watching me. Get home at dark. Parents are mega mad, but I had nightmares about it for months. Thinking about it, it was most likely an odd reflection from the porch's garden lights between the trees and the river, along with a wild childhood imagination.
I never ever come to /x/, but I have a couple good nope stories that are not fiction. Be me, 7 or 8. Live in an old house in Tennessee, suburban neighborhood. I had a screwed up childhood in the non-traditional sense of the word. Always scared of my house, didn't fit in at school, and had weird interests. Anyways, my room had 3 doors in it, one to the hallway, one to my walk-in closet, one to an annex room above the garage, which was scary as shit at night. The closet door was behind me at the head of my bed, the hallway door was at the foot of my bed, and the annex room door was on the opposite wall to the right of me. One night, storming like mad, huge thunder, crazy constant lightning, keeps me up all night. Must be like 1 or 2 in the morning at this point. Rain is absolutely drilling the house. I'm just staring at the hallway door, which is closed and latched, but not locked. All the doors in the room are like this. Hear the doorknob rattle, sort of. Chalk it up to the vicious thunder. Slowly, the knob starts to turn slowly. I hear the door unlatch. Figure it's my parents coming to check on me. The door slowly swings wide open. Nothing's there. Okay. Pitch black hallway. Kinda scary. Stare for a minute. Nothing ever comes into the room. Then, after a minute or so, the door slowly closes and latches itself. Fuck that .jpg 2000. I pull the covers over my head and lay on my side facing the annex door. Then after a few seconds, that door opens too, just like the hallway door. I'm sweating bullets at this point and whimpering. Begin to cry. There is absolutely a black abyss beyond the door, just nothingness. I can't see a single thing inside the other room. The door closes, latches. I am completely paralyzed with fear. Eventually go to sleep, never knowing what happened. Then another time in this same house. A year later or so, My dad has moved my bed into my sister's room with my sister after telling him about the weird shit that's been happening. One night, I was awake playing Wario on my Game Boy. Hear strange noises coming from downstairs. My cat died, so there are no animals in the house. Hear the fireplace stoker get knocked over, loud as shit. Get scared. Figure it's a robber or something. Noises continue. Don't know what to do. And me being stupid at the time, I scream bloody murder so my dad will come. He comes running down the hall. I tell him about the noises. He runs downstairs. Comes back a few seconds later to tell me that the neighbor's cat had gotten inside somehow and was knocking shit over. Well, I'm a dumbass. One more story for fun. Same house. Be sleeping back in the old room, like 10 at this point. The next morning we are going to my grandparents' house for Christmas, which is also in Tennessee, but on the opposite side, so quite a hike. Too excited to sleep. It's raining pretty hard. I can't wait for my parents to get up so we can fucking go. Keep mistaking rain for the sound of a shower, as if my parents were awake. One of the times I mistake the sound of rain for a shower, I get up to go check to see if my parents are awake. Open the door to the hallway, and as soon as I look up to start heading down the hallway, see this creature about as tall as me, maybe 4 feet or so. It's kind of translucent, but I can make it out perfectly. Looks like an alien, has a long conduit-like looking neck that has to be like 2 feet long and like 2 inches thick. Weird football-shaped head, no ears, 2 holes for a nose, small mouth, huge eyes set far apart. Pretty short and stubby legs, fat body. I can draw it perfectly still to this day. Looks like it's smiling. He's walking towards me. Very slow motion. Head is kind of bobbing while doing so. Walks right through me, as if he's a ghost or something. Run back to my room, put covers over my head, and never talk about it again.
When I was a teen, I found myself homeless frequently. Seeking shelter at night, I would stay in condemned buildings. One such building was an abandoned meat processing plant. They had been shut down in the early 90s because of on-site accidents resulting in a couple of employee mutilations and deaths. Me and my crew of vagrants explored the place over several nights. On the north end of the structure were the offices where we all slept. Working south was the factory floor and loading docks, wide, empty, lightless rooms now devoid of anything. The first nights in nothing strange happened. Then the noises started, shuffling feet in the dark of the factory floor and the rattling of chains. By the third night of this, we had enough and decided to investigate. Armed with crude clubs and flashlights, we went to the factory floor. When we had explored the factory floor the first time, it had been completely empty. Through the course of our time there, someone had erected a chain link cage in the inky dark of the factory. We didn't stay the night. We packed our belongings and never went back there.
Probably not paranormal or anything, but certainly weird. My wife and I are taking a hike. It's late fall and we're up pretty high in elevation. The terrain was nice and flat, but it was a bit chilly. We're holding hands. Suddenly I get this awful feeling. My wife felt it too. My knees feel weak. A bit of a panic takes over. Feel like I want to run. My wife is pulling away, trying to get into an open run. It happens so fast we don't even have time to say anything. Unspoken agreement to take off running. I have a longer stride, so I'm pulling her behind me. Maybe 50 feet from the initial wave of fear, both of us collapse. The best way I can describe it was like there was suddenly no ground under us. We both just fell flat. We can't move. Face to face in the dirt. What was an irrational panic is now an absolute terror. Trying to ask her if she is okay. Can't hear any sound coming out. Her mouth is moving, but she isn't saying anything either. Can see tears rolling down her cheeks, sharp pain in my ears. They pop. Just like that I can move again. Push myself up to my knees. My wife is still laying flat. She winces. She can move again too. She starts trying to crawl away. Get her up to her feet. I'm bleeding. She touches her cheek, blood coming out of both her ears. We have to pass back through the area where we got hit with the wave of fear to get back to our car. Sure enough, 50 feet or so into it, we're hit with the wave of panic again. Suppress the urge to run. Get through it without the bizarre paralysis hitting us. Get to the car. Take her to the ER for the bleeding ears. Apparently, microwave transmitters can do weird shit like that to you. We've hiked the area before, but never take that particular trail. Nothing like that had happened before, and we've never gone back.
B16, moved into an apartment with my folks. Been about a month since the move. Trouble sleeping at night because of new surroundings. First time owning a closet, though. Feels good, man. Staring out at white walls, haven't put up posters yet. See something from the corner of my eye. Turn my head to see a blob of darkness 3 feet away from me. Darker than any part of the room and moving. What? About a foot long and tall all around. Hard to tell because it constantly shifts its form. Constantly grows spider legs to move a few inches before it feeds the legs back into itself. Grows more. Repeat. Slowly, blindly makes its way up my walls toward my closet door. Squeezes its body to fit into the top crack of the door. What? Try to convince myself I didn't see it. Fail horribly. Muster up the courage to open the door. Hit the lights first. Swing the door fully open. Nothing. Ha 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 ha. I knew it. Ha ha. Oh, thank God. Turn off the light. The black blob is back. Oh, sweet Lord. Pushes itself into another crack in my ceiling, going into the apartment baseboards above us. Nope, 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 nope. Close the door. Turn on the TV and pretend I've seen nothing. Ever. Never happened again. It looked like one of those soot monsters from My Neighbor Totoro, except for the constantly growing legs and no eyes to speak of.
Not so much a nope as a WTF moment. In college, I was waiting in the cafeteria line to pay for my food. Regular activity going on around me, people coming and going, doing their thing, when suddenly it felt like the floor dropped out from under me suddenly, like distorted downwards about a foot, though my feet were still very much on the ground. I couldn't feel them there anymore. The sound of things going on around me slowed down to a crawl like a videotape going bad, and my vision began to skew to one side. All I could do was stand there, this feeling of dread in the pit of my stomach at what was going on. I felt like time was just distorting around me in a bubble or something, and I just hung there in space. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it all suddenly snapped back to normal. The ground jumped back into place under my feet. Time progressed normally again. I looked wildly around me for a moment. Didn't anyone else feel that? Apparently not. I've asked around a little amongst my friends group. People have had weird things happen, but only to things outside of themselves. Nothing so drastic and personal. I've come to the conclusion that either I had some sort of weird metabolic episode contained within myself that gave me some sort of bizarre vertigo effect, or I experienced a moment of space-time distortion. I'm firmly on the fence on which it could be, because going one way or the other feels somehow wrong. On one hand, it was just so fucked up. But on the other, the world is full of unexplained things, and our understanding of space and time is so limited.
Probably we're having a medical problem. They'll go see a doctor.
I strongly considered it at the time, but nothing even remotely like it has ever happened since. I think if it was something serious and medical, it would have happened again by now. I get vertigo sometimes now, but that's from the meds I take. And at the time that happened, I was only seeing a therapist, no meds at all. Don't do any drugs, drink very minimally, in general good health besides some clinical depression and anxiety.
Here's mine. Fuck Greentext. Be 7. Be off in the woods with my best bud Maddie, climbing trees, usually dumb kid shit. It's widely known among the neighborhood kids that these woods fill up with satanic murders and Chris Chans at night. Maddie and I wander too far, too late. The sun sets, and we're stuck hauling ass for home in the dark. We're booking down a nice, wide, sandy trail. Some dude jumps out of the brush at us, scrappy and quick, with crazy eyes. Think Charlie Manson, but with a big black beard. He grabs my buddy's arm. Both of us freeze. "Are you Matty?" My friend nods. "Your mom is looking for you." And he runs off back into the brush. Gone. Never seen him before or since.
About 14. Visiting my mom and my brother in Mississippi for the summer. Been there about 2 weeks. In bed. One window to my left, one window behind me, a wall to my right that separates my room from my brother's. Can't sleep. Too damn hot. After rolling around with my eyes shut trying to sleep, I open my eyes. Look to the window on the left. A very, very distinct silhouette in the window. I could only see its shadow. Awkward, supernatural Mexican standoff for about 2 minutes. The figure moves away from the window. Look to the window behind me. The figure passes the window. Looks like it's walking toward my brother's room's window. What? I am now asleep. That happened. And then this. December later that year. My brother came into town. Got to see lots of old friends, teachers, family, etc. Enjoying the weekend. Sunday night. Stayed up late. Spent time with my bro. Say goodnight to dad and brother. Get in bed. Can't sleep all night. Have an eerie feeling. About midnight. Overwhelmed by a tingling feeling. Had never felt it before, and haven't felt it since. Go to sleep. Dad finds brother dead the next morning and checks me out of school. I don't know what that figure was, but I'm almost certain it was linked to my brother in some way. Angel of death, omen, guardian angel. Fuck, I don't know, but I just know that tall figure had something to do with it.
2010. Walking to Dad's house for visitation. Hurrying because a friend nabbed my bike. Hate that kid. And my phone was busted. Finally get there. The door's locked, so I decide to climb over our fence into the backyard. As I'm walking up to the fence, a van pulls up. It's his parents, and they haven't seen him for a few days. Grandma drives me back to the school to call my friend to get my bike. Grandpa discovers the body of my dad, with his head blown open in the backyard. I came this close to seeing his body. The detective says he was waiting for my mom. She would drop off our stuff. But she had slept in, so he only got to shoot himself. Sometimes I think about the whole thing and just, nope.
Be camping with friends. Wake up at 3 a.m. No one else is awake. That feel when you're too awake to go back to sleep. Decide to take a shit next to the woods because no one could hear me. One of my friend's girlfriend's friends come out of the woods. "Hey, Anon, what are you doing up?" Woke up and couldn't go back to sleep. "Oh, well, you should totally go back to sleep. We're all getting up early tomorrow." "We are?" "Yeah, she didn't tell you?" "Who?" "Haha, You're pretty funny, Anon. Well, I'm going to continue my jog. See you in the morning. I felt really weird as she ran back into the woods, but she had a really athletic personality, so I didn't think of it at the time. Next morning, my friend's girlfriend's friend laughs at me when I asked her how her jog was, claiming that she wasn't that big of a fit freak. Laugh nervously, say nothing. Fucking skinwalkers are coming to the Midwest. Didn't hear of any stories of them even being in America. To anyone in Iowa, Illinois, be careful when you go camping or hiking near Maquoketa. There's something out there. Or maybe things. I don't fucking know. All I know is that I'm never going there again.
Winter 2011. I was inside reading a book and bulk eating when I heard scratches at my door. Thinking nothing of it, I went back to my book. Start to hear a high-pitched whine. I creep towards the door. Whatever was out there must have sensed me because each careful step I took increased the attack of the whining and scratching. At the door, I was hesitant to muster up the courage to look through the peephole. I finally gathered my strength and looked out. Nothing. Whatever this was had to be either clever or really short. I stood there for a whole 30 seconds before taking a deep breath and opening the door. As soon as I began to turn the handle, the whining and scratching stopped, and I could feel my body growing weaker with fear. I finally threw the door open. It was a dog. I presumed it wanted my protein. Nope, shut the door.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.